Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the guild on Aerie Peak Convert to Raid. With you as always is Salmisis the Shaman, Belschnickel the Priest, and Navox the Warrior. It's about to get real.
We're having this soon.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? This is episode 26 of the Converted Podcast. I am Belschnickel from the Convert to Raid Guild on Aerie Peak, and with me I've got Nav and Sal. How you guys doing today?
In this episode, we have the CTR Town Hall, an important message from Chur Arts. The CTR Communications lead Spencer HD, and wait a minute, it's Zug's birthday today.
That was awesome, man. Happy birthday, Zug.
Happy birthday, Zug. Zug's our fantastic guild master extraordinaire, and he's the I don't know, the buck stops there, and happy birthday. It's today, and hopefully you're out right now having vodka tonics on your birthday.
Yeah.
I got to give props to Nav too for making that video, man. That was sweet, dude. You got that off, and that was really nice. Really nice.
Well, I also wanted to say hey to the chat room. What's up, chat room? How's it going?
Thanks for coming out, guys.
Thanks for coming out, and also to all the listeners that are listening to us on Stitcher and iTunes.
Or watching us on YouTube.
Or watching us on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And Belle, so we ran into each other this weekend.
Dude, that was awesome, man. Like a lot of you guys may not know, but Navox and I live probably about 45 minutes from each other. A couple towns over, and we haven't been able to hook up yet. And I was over in his neighborhood, with my wife and some friends and stuff. And I texted him. I'm like, dude, we're going to be up that way. Let's hook up. And he's like, dude, I'm on my way. I'll be over there. So we met in front of a Kilwin's fudge shop, which is like the best place in the world. Yeah, and it was actually really cool, man. I got to meet Navox, his wife. It was awesome. It was really cool. Aww. And yeah, it was neat. Sal's like, make sure you take pictures.
Did you take a picture? Do you have a picture?
We took some pictures, man. And they have like those memes where like it'll say like, this is what I do, or this is what I think I do, and this is what my friends think I do, and this is what I really do. This is a picture of like what Nav and I think we do. We're taking a picture here. We're in front of Kilwin's. We're hanging out. It's good. You got the chocolate fudge sign in the background, a little psychic reading in the background. And then this is a picture that Navox's wife actually took of what we were really doing the whole time. And it's a picture of myself and Nav doing our thing. We're tweeting out the pic, and attached to the phones, man. You guys know how it is. I'm sure everybody's the same way. I mean, you got your phone. You're all about it. So, but no, it was really cool, man. Getting to meet you, man, your family. It was nice, man. It was a great time. It was really cool. I'm looking forward to the future.
Absolutely.
So I can just see it, like you're taking a photo and go, okay, wait a minute.
Gotta tweet it out.
That's what it was.
Yeah, it was cool though. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, basically this week, it's been a good week, man, with the raid scene. It was like you ever have that night when you're raiding and it's like loot pinata night where it's like your night. You're getting drops from all the bosses. That never happens to you?
No.
That's
never happened.
That's unfortunate.
That's unfortunate. For Hokie.
And on our team, it's Rex. I mean, he gets literally every night is plate night. But tonight was Belschnickel night, man. I got a couple of rings, went over to Ordos, got my neck. So it was good, man. And Sushi filled in for us, and Dead Greed. See, we had a couple guys miss because of real life stuff. So I got to give props to my man Sushi and Dead Greed. And I was wondering if we can get through a whole episode without actually mentioning Sushi. And apparently that's never going to happen.
Nope.
But I got to give props to him, man, because he called his own shot. We were on General Nazgrim. And he was wanting a new mace, like a mace upgrade, and Nazgrim drops a mace, and it's the mace he's wanting, right? So he's looking at it, and he's like, I'm not gonna roll on it. He's like, if it's not Warforged, I don't want it, because I guess that's apparently how Sushi rolls. You know what I'm saying? Like he only wears Warforged gear. So he does a bonus roll. What drops? The Warforged deck, the Warforged mace.
No.
Wow,
dude, he just called it out. Dude, wow. He was like, the sound of glee through Mumble was like, awesome. It was crazy. The guy was ecstatic. So that was pretty cool, man. But we had a good time. We had to reset this week because we had some guys missing. But having fun, man. We're going to be hopefully working on Siegecraft this week. So that's kind of where we're at. Been catching up on some TV shows, man. I'm addicted to House of Cards, man. If you're not watching House of Cards,
oh yeah,
you're messing up big time. That is one of the hottest new shows, man. It's such a good show. And season 2 just came out on Valentine's, so if you're not watching House of Cards, you're messing up. Walking Dead, a little bit of Game of Thrones, man. Still watching that, loving that show. That show is awesome. It's a good show, man. So been catching up on shows, man, and just gaming when I can, man. You know, it's all good. It's been doing really good though.
How far along are you on Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, I'm on episode 8 of the first season. I don't want to say what I'm seeing because just in case somebody listening hasn't seen it yet, but it was good. It ended kind of crazy, and you know, I'm telling you, I'm loving the show so far, and people aren't dying left and right yet, so I'm sure that's to come. But it's going good. It's going good. So Sal, what have you been up to?
Well, did you know that Cage kidnapped me?
I heard about that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I didn't know. I had always thought that summoning portals were actually like just a fictional thing, but apparently they're real. And you can see this kidnapping if you check for the summoning portal on YouTube or check for Cage of Hell. And you can see what he did. He trapped me in a box and forced me to answer questions. So check that out.
It's definitely worth checking out. It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
He's getting really good with that green screen. He really,
I mean, he does the Chromacast thing. The
yeah.
Chromecast thing. That's pretty hot. That's hot. I like how that looks.
Yeah, it's awesome. So this past week, I wasn't really able to head in with the Salad Senate because I had to wake up in the morning, and you know I'm East Coast now, and you know I can't stay up that late. So I was looking, and I saw them, all 25 of them, in the Mumble channel, and I was like, oh, I wish I was in there. They're working on Garage, you know, but I'm just gonna level my DK. It's like level 88, and I'm just pouncing around. And then I was about to go to bed. It was time to go to bed, and then Navox sent me a whisper. He's like, hey, go get your chamois. Go get Sal. I'm like, no, I'm going to bed, man. It's fine. No. Just for a few minutes. Come. And I guess, like one of your DPS, I guess it was Hokey.
Yeah,
had to drop out.
Hokey went to bed, yes.
And, all right. So you needed an extra body, and you brought me.
We needed some DPS. That's right. And we felt bad for the last time that you came along, and when we're like, oh, you can come along again, and you're like, oh no, we've been down that road before. That's not happening. But I was like, no, we got to get you that kill. So, yeah.
Well, then we did, and it was so much fun, and yeah, that was great, and I'm like, oh, I got the achievement, oh, Garage, and then I looked down at that Mumble channel with 25 of my friends in there working on Garage, and I felt like a tool, like, oh, that achievement just popped up. Oh man! Oh, then I realized it was only 10 man. I only had the achievement on 10 man. So
you get to do easy mode 25.
You have the wolf now
so
too. You got the new mount.
Huh? Oh, you got a mount out of it?
You get a mount when you kill Gary.
No, you don't.
Yes, you got a wolf mount.
Do you really?
Yes.
Everyone who gets the kill gets the mount?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, then. There we go. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I look forward to getting it in 25 man later on. But do you know, last week after the show, or 2 weeks ago after the show, we had that meet and greet.
That was a lot of fun. That was actually really cool. Huge turnout, too.
Yeah, it was. That was fun.
There was like 80 people in there. It was crazy.
You know, what we should have done was like divide it into 4 different groups. Mm-hmm. You know, so like you have like 20 people in each channel, so we can like all actually talk. But it was fun. I had Turarts. I was like whispering Turarts going, okay, give me some advice. I've never done this before. What's going on? And she was like, okay, ask questions. She was trying to get me an icebreaker, but I had none prepared. I didn't have an icebreaker prepared. Yeah. But it was a lot of people, and it was cool.
It was a huge turnout.
Yeah, it was nice. Huge. It was nice.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see.
Now, the next one's coming up, too, like next month, right? March. Somewhere in March?
Oh, yeah, she's doing it once a month.
Okay, that's going to be good.
I think she might have actually sent us information about that. So, cool. Because you can hear Turarts later on today. But so that was my week. Navox, how about you?
Okay, so we were banging our heads with Iron Jugs, and we finally got him down. Heroic Iron Jugs is down for us, and we were pretty happy about that. And so we decided to move on through Siege, and we got to Dark Shaman, and we're like, Do we really want to do this on heroic? We really want to go kill Garrosh this evening, so let's skip it. Let's do it on normal, but let's do General Nazgrim on heroic. And we ended up killing him, so I was like,
nice.
That was awesome. No, that we need that. It's you know that pump you get after just like killing a boss. It's just like we needed that. It was a good morale boost for us. But it was our last raid for our DK tank. So here's a shameless plug real quick. We're either looking for a DK tank or a disc priest for Boats and Hosen. Check us out in the forums. So we're recruiting for one. But other than that, I got 2 more Titan runestones to get for my rogue, and I should be able to get the cloak after that. And that's about it. We had the guild town hall meeting last week, and I know some of you guys in the chat room were there. But I think we'll briefly cover that stuff. Yeah,
it was really good. I ended up watching it on YouTube. I wasn't there for it live, but it was definitely a good listen for sure.
Well, I was there for it live. It's really cool how they do it. We all get into like a mumble channel, and then they have the officers take turns. But first of all, okay, I made an outline of all the things that happened at the CTR town hall. And the first thing is that Darius is a jerk. And the second thing is, no, seriously, he wanted to get some tunes into the guild, right? And I'm like, hi, because I'm a greeter, and I was like, hello, my name is Sal. I will help you today. He's like, he goes, I need a grown-up. I need an adult. I'm like, oh, I can help you. What's going on? He's like, I need an invite to the guild. Okay, well, give me your email address, and I'll look you up. And he's like, Sal, this is Darius. Just let me in. I'm like, how do I know it's you? How do I know it's Darius?
He gets a special pass? Like, he doesn't have to... What's the deal, you know?
And I'm like, what's going on? And I started kind of giving him a hard time. So maybe it was me that... I knew it was Darius. But, like, I started giving him a hard time. And then he was in an officers meeting. So I had a few officers in that meeting, like, whispering me, going, ah, ha, ha, ha. Give him a hard time.
Very funny. Let him in now.
No. They were loving it, going, give it to him. Yeah. So he was funny. He's like, I need a grown up. I need an adult. But what was the other thing we talked about in town hall?
Well, we had the tabard change. We changed the tabard over to the closest thing to an alliance symbol that we can have on the current tabard.
No. You changed the tabard to the Stormwind tabard.
I think it looks pretty awesome.
It's not really a Stormwind tabard. It's like some angry lion. It's the closest thing we got to it. You know, it's the closest thing we got to that.
To the Stormwind tabard.
Yes. Okay. So what's the problem, Sal? What's the problem with Stormwind?
What's wrong with the angry lion, anyway?
What's wrong with Stormwind?
I'm just kidding. I'm just being...
Also...
It's fine.
If you haven't noticed yet, if you use the Epic Guild tabard versus the regular tabard, the blues are different. Like, if you get the regular tabard, it's like a navy blue, but the other one's just like light colored blue. Like the Epic Cloak is the light colored blue. So, you know, if you want a navy blue one, just put the regular tabard back on, and you know.
Oh, cool. But I liked the black, I like the black, and it matched my transmog.
It's all about the transmog.
And now I gotta find something that matches with blue and yellow.
Sal's always trying to be styling.
I'm just messing.
You need an alliance shirt. That's what
it's a fresh look. It's a fresh
Represent.
look. And I have that shirt. I actually have that shirt. In the very first episode of The Converted, way back when.
Is that what you're wearing?
Watching it.
No, your niece.
No. Go ahead.
Your niece? Is that what your niece is wearing?
Yeah, my niece is wearing
it
during the Harlem Shake. So I definitely have that somewhere. Alrighty, speaking of t-shirts.
Yes, we got Zug talked about during the town hall meeting that he had all the shirts from BlizzCon at his house. Okay, now that's a lot of shirts. Now I got this mental picture when he was talking about that, about like everybody ordering a shirt and like Zug like licking stamps in his house, like trying to get these things out of his basement. You know what I mean?
Stuffing envelopes.
Stuffing envelopes with shirts. Like, let's get rid of these things, man. Like everyone should just order one just to make Zug work a little bit. I'm just picturing him at the house, just stuffing the one price shipping boxes and stuff, trying to get those things out of there. But yeah, they're really nice shirts, man. Sal and I got one at BlizzCon. Definitely, guys, if you're looking to get one, you know, when that comes out, you definitely want one. They're really nice. They look good. They came out great. And a portion's going to charity, so you can't beat that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And another thing they talked about was like policies, like member conduct. Remember, adult conversation is not in any of the public channels, and that's, you know, that's Mumble, in the public channels of Mumble. That's in guild chat. That's in CTR, you know, looking for group. And you know what? That's also in trade chat. And it's also in LFR. Like, when we have that convert to raid above your head, you gotta be represent, you know, community. So, yeah, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the community, I think they did the numbers, and they said that we had actually 5,000 actual people. And it's spread across, well, there's 7,114 tunes, 5,276 accounts.
That's a lot.
You know
That's
what?
crazy.
And that was a week ago.
That's crazy.
We're still inviting left and right.
And then once we get once they do that 90s boost, it's just, people are just going to flood. I mean, I think people are just going to come over and, yep. It's going to be awesome.
Now, I was talking to you, Sal, the other day about, because you're doing the invites and stuff. Like, how many people, like, on a routine, like, shift are you pulling into the guild? Like, what's that like?
Oh, I don't know. And let's be honest. There are other greeters that do a lot more hours than I do. You know, like, but when I do it, it just seems like just nonstop.
It's constant. You're like constantly pulling in. That's crazy.
Yeah. Except like really early in the morning and really late at night. I mean, there's always people to be invited. Yeah, people bring in their alts, but I mean, I'm talking to more brand new guildies than I ever have. Like, people are coming right now. So it's, yeah, there's going to be an influx of people.
I gotta give props to you guys. You got your invitees, people, man. You guys,
the greeters.
Yeah, the greeters, man. You guys are awesome. That's a big service. It's good. It
I'm
takes
probably
time.
the least awesome of them.
But like, I mean, all of them. You know, anybody that's hearing us. You know, if you're a greeter, man, I'm giving you props. You know, it's work, but it's needed, so it's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say, like I've said this before, but my favorite part is actually meeting the new people and be like, hey, do you know that you're allowed to use the Mumble and you can get the CTR LFG and you should get the green wall? And you know, because I get kind of like, welcome, so
that's kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I like it.
Another thing they talked about was if you guys want to make any donations to the guild for the officers to kind of move around the guild banks, they actually made 2 tunes that you guys can use. One of them is called CTR Banker, and the other one's called CTR Bank. So if you want to mail anything, instead of just dropping it off in the guild bank where anybody can grab it, mail it to one of these tunes, and they're going to make sure that it gets where it needs to go. So it's CTR Banker and CTR Bank. Are the 2 tunes that you can mail stuff to if you want to donate flasks or any raiding materials or anything like that. So that's cool.
Okay, yeah, at first I didn't really understand that. I was like, I'm going to put the stuff in the what? And how am I going to use the stuff? And I'm just brain hurt, you know? But yeah, CTR Banker, CTR Bank. Oh, I should make a tune called CTR Banks.
Yeah, maybe you'll get rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. What's another one? Okay. Oh, you know what? Speaking of like greeters and stuff, they're actually, the powers that be are looking for more greeters and more event planners. To work with tour arts. So if you have a specific talent you want to contribute, please feel free to apply. You know, and
you can send an email to ctrofficers@gmail.com to do that.
Yeah. So cool. Speaking of service positions, the CTR communications lead, Spencer HD, is here right now in our studio chat room audience. Yay!
Yes, let's get him in here, man. Spencer's awesome.
Okay, so we're actually gonna bring him in, and yeah, and after the interview, there's definitely more coming. But let's get Spencer HD. Oh, look at the chat room. Chat room's awesome right now.
It is.
Yes, there he is.
There's sushi.
Hey, Spencer.
What's going on there, Spencer?
Hey, Spence.
Doing good.
Good, man. It's good to hear you, man. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since BlizzCon.
I gotta say, man, for those of you guys who don't know, man, Spencer is responsible for a lot of the stuff that happens audio visually with the guild and all that stuff. And he was instrumental for us at BlizzCon. Without Spencer at BlizzCon, there was no Converted from BlizzCon. And if there was, it was like in some box underneath some bridge in some alley with a couple homeless guys. It would have been really, really bad. So Spencer, thank you so much for your help, man. You're instrumental in a lot of things that happened. Before we get started, man, one thing, there was a story that Sal and I had about BlizzCon, and I'm not sure if you knew at the intro, and I don't think anyone's ever seen the footage, and we should release it someday because I have it. Like, Sal and I had planned this whole like dance and this whole handshake thing, and it was going to be awesome, and we had it timed to the music, and
no, we had a choreographed.
We had it choreographed, and we were ready to go. So Sal and I come up on stage.
Big, like, handshake.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was awesome. So we come up on the little stage there on the front of the stage, and Spencer knows, all right, I'm gonna hit the music, and when it starts, you guys can do your little thing, and you're gonna get down and do it. And so Spencer does his part. We're up there ready to go, and like the music it's so loud in there, you just can't hear it. So we're like, Spencer, start it again, dude, start it again. So he starts it again, and then it got to that point where you kind of had like that. It's getting kind of awkward moment. You know what I'm saying? We're standing up there like, yeah. And it's like, it's not happening. And we just scrapped the whole thing. But you were a good sport about that, man. But we were just trying to get that done. And I'm not sure if you knew or if people knew kind of what was going down. That was kind of wild, man. That was a crazy way to start that show.
Out there.
Yeah,
no, like, yeah. Oh, we're just going to sit down.
Yeah, we're going to just sit down now.
First, you had to do that thing where you try to get everyone's attention before you start because you want to be sure everyone was paying attention.
Right.
And then the awkward moment happened.
Yes, yeah, because who wants to be like dancing and doing an awesome handshake and no one's even watching, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. But that was fun. That was a blast.
No,
we should totally post.
I got to find that clip.
We should post like the video of what it was supposed to be.
I'm gonna make it a point to post that little clip at next episode so people can see how awkward and just bad that was. It was really bad. It was really bad.
You guys worked really hard on it though. I was kind of hoping it turned out.
Next year, man. Next year.
Sure.
But next year will be with Nav.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Like a
I can't wait.
handshake.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So Spence, you're in the communications department with CTR.
I am. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah, as far as the comms department goes for CTR, we are sort of the social media aspect of CTR as well as the forums. We're in charge of handling our guild's presentation being put forward and advertising for our guild in the community, as well as to recruitment and that sort of stuff. So we're the front lines of putting the image forward of what the guild is about.
And we also have the forums are over on signalsmedia.com.
Yep.
We've got the Twitter page, the Facebook page, and the YouTube page.
That's right. Yep. No, we run all those, and most of them are CTR Guild. So it would be Twitter/CTR Guild, YouTube/CTR Guild, Facebook/CTR Guild. So they're pretty easy to find.
Now, you're the one that manages the Twitter CTR Guild, like.
I'm the primary.
Okay.
I brought Navox on board to help out with that as well.
Okay, sweet.
Pat's in there too. He helps out. He sort of has access to everything. So every now and then he'll go in and do some retweets or go and do some tweets. But it's primarily myself who was doing that for a while.
Cool.
And what we're actually something along the lines of that is we try to get the community of CTR to send in, like, if you've down a boss and you've taking a screenshot or something like that, post it out to the Facebook page, guys. Post it out to Twitter, something like that. We will definitely retweet it. There's somebody watching those things around the clock. Honestly, I think I know when I get up in the morning, one of the first things I do with checking email is check the Facebook page, check the Twitter page, things like that, see if what's new.
Yeah.
But guys, it's your guild. Show us what you're doing. Get us screenshots.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I like to pump out on our post is when we see raid teams looking for more members or looking for subs or looking for that sort of stuff. If you just include @CTR Guild in your tweet, it really helps because it'll flag it to me or flag it to whoever's watching it that day, and we'll make sure it's retweeted so that you find someone for your team or find someone to sub in for that night. Because it's a great way to do that. Is to advertise like that.
Definitely.
One of the favorite things is the Facebook group, right? And because you gathered as many like CTR BlizzCon photos that you could, And like I was talking to you a few weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that existed. And I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, that's me and Goldie, and that's me and Spencer, and then oh look, that's me and Chris Metzen, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
And it was really nice to see, like, oh, like there's Dev and there's that was really good. I'd really recommend looking at that album, the Facebook album with the BlizzCon stuff. Just so many great photos and great memories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, after BlizzCon happened, I went to as many people's Twitter pages and people's Imager sites and et cetera, and grabbed CTR photos as I could to build that album. But I didn't get all of them. There's still plenty more out there. So if you do have more, you can either toss an email with a link to them at the CTR officers@gmail.com, or send us a message on Facebook or whatever it is, because I'll add to it. I'm happy to. If people have more out there than want to add in.
Mm. Well, it was so much fun. Thanks for putting that together. So you have the Twitter, the Facebook. Like, are we missing anything? Like
YouTube. We're doing a new project with YouTube right now, and I'm sort of getting as many of the leadership as well as sort of important figures within the community together to do these videos, which are going to be these hopefully 3 to 5 minute short pieces. I know Solar Flare is finishing up one on the bank really soon. He's going to have that over to me, and we'll get that one out. I know Navix is doing one for Mumble. But we're going to get these out, these just short 3 to 5 minute how-tos or instructional or too long didn't read, in some cases, videos. So myself and Zug are gonna do one for policies and rules in the guild, and then that way you'll have two options. You can either go through the more law, finer point policy stuff that took me forever to write, or you could just watch the 3 to 5 minute video, and you still have that click agree button when you join the guild. Exactly, right? So that's happening on our YouTube stuff, and I'll be pushing more of that through all of our social media as well. So follow us on Twitter, and you'll see that for sure.
Now, Spencer, man, we know you're the multimedia guy. Like, what now in game, right? Like, are you doing any raiding right now? And what's the raiding scene looking like for you right now?
For me, I'm part of Iron Deficiency.
Okay.
Raid team in CTR. We're working on Heroic Siege Crafter at the moment.
Okay, so you guys are far. Nice.
We're currently very far progressed. We got him to about 20%. So we just got 2 bosses left after Siege. We'll hopefully get Siege this week, and it won't be too much longer before we get Heroic Gary.
That's a beast of a fight, isn't it? I mean,
it's one of those fights. I'm a druid, resto druid.
I like that shirt, by the way. That's awesome. That's nice.
I have 2 of them. I have 2 resto druids. I
thought you said 2 T-shirts.
No, I have 2 of these. My wife has one because she also plays a druid, but I just have one of these. But no, I like having 2 druids so I can do 2 different lockouts and help out other teams on other nights, which is something they're doing in Warlords that I'm really excited about. Is that I'll be able to bounce from team to team to team on one tune and not worry about getting my tune saved to something I can't help my own team out with. But no, we're doing really well. I got a shout out to the team, Karn, Glaive, Sushi, Boone, Premok. I'm totally gonna forget people. Shallow Grave. I'm like 3 off now. Air. Can't forget Air. Got both healers. Got the monks. I got Glaive. Tanks. I got tanks. Oh, Setic. I'm missing Setic.
Okay.
I mean they're great. They're a great group of people to raid with. We're pretty serious about raiding, but we still try and have a good time. We don't yell at each other, which is really nice. I've done a lot of progression raiding in the past, and I've been around a lot of people who try to yell and scream as much as they can at people. And I don't like it. That's not my scene.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the beautiful things about the guild, man, is like every team is kind of built around that, just like getting out of what you used to be involved in. Not that it was always bad. Some people, we came from good places, but this is a place where everybody, you just feel comfortable. It's home, like they've said. It's a family. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome. That's really good. Now, go ahead, Sal.
I was just gonna say, speaking of the community, could you kind of tell the history of like how you started with Convert to Raid? Like, you were kind of one of the people from way back, not just the guild.
Sure. Yeah. No, I started out with CTR prior to BlizzCon, I think is what it was, which is what the instance did one year. I started watching. I dabbled maybe 1 or 2 episodes before that, and then Pat was on that and did sort of a joint show with Blizz Gone, and I really clicked into it again. And when Pat one day tweeted out looking for someone to help him with editing projects and editing the show and that sort of stuff, and back then when he did CTR, he would do the podcast, and then on Mondays he'd actually do a live edit. So on Mondays, for a couple hours in the morning, it was him standing around at his desk doing editing, and we'd talk about the show and sort of bounce ideas off of what they talked about on the show. And so I thought, that's great. I'm someone who works in audiovisual. I do editing regularly. I went to school and got a master's and all that in audio editing. So I got in touch with him about volunteering time doing that, and that ended up turning into like CTR2 and helping edit a whole bunch of stuff for that. It turned into me helping find guests for the podcast for a little bit. I was going out and finding, talking to Blatty and talking to Sloot and talking to these guys, trying to get them on the podcast as much as I could.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they just decided to bounce off and do the guild thing, and I almost knew right away that I wanted to move. I was playing Alliance on Medivh. That's where I still have a couple tunes there. My original tune I started playing back in beta, and I made a tune in vanilla and went all the way through it doing hardcore rating. That tune is planted there. He's never moving. He's always going to live on that server. He has too much history. I just can't move him. But I moved over my druid to the CTR guild when it got formed, and started out as an event planner. I was the original Red for that position. Okay. I was the original lead event planner for the guild. And when Red came on board with that, I got moved from that, because I was still doing stuff for the podcast, to policies. So then I wrote all the policy stuff that I was doing for that. And Devona at that time was doing communications, and Devona needed to step back from the game. So Pat came to me and said, hey, do you want to take over communications? And I went, that's a really big job.
It is.
So I stepped back from doing the podcast stuff a lot since then, and just focused on doing comms since then. I still do policies as well, though. I'm still the big policy guy. But yeah, that's sort of my history with the guild.
Man, you're involved, man. Like so many things happen like in this guild that a lot of us you log into the game, you raid with your people, you play, and everything's going great. But you sometimes don't realize all the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, And we appreciate everybody all you guys that do these things to make the guild happen. Because that's not something you think about all the time. You know what I mean? All that it takes to make sure everything's running the way it should.
Yeah. Jules had a brainwave with the greeters. She was the one who initially sort of championed the idea of having greeters. And before that, we were doing like scheduled time periods, and it was every officer trying to get in whatever time they could. At one point, we were doing the first week of the month. We'd do like 24-hour invites for the first week of the month. And during that period of time, we actually had that point where they did the 50% discount on everything. So we had the first week of the month with the 50% discount on character services. So everyone was transferring all their tunes over. That was like scary for invites. You were on for like 9 hours a day doing invites. But the greeters have been fantastic. I've really been very happy with how that's all turned out. Props to them for sure.
So Spence, what future items can we expect from the communications department? I know you mentioned YouTube things like that. Are we going to see any changes with the forums, anything like that? Any improvements there?
Dairies is working very hard on, as hard as Dairies works on, which doesn't mean anything. I don't know why I said that, but he works very hard on revamping the forums, and he's going to be taking over that portion of it. We actually just redid our database that we have set up for the greeters and for people who are inviting. The interface for that just got overhauled, so that's a lot cleaner and smoother. We're always trying to make that an easier job to do, to sort of not help people not get burnt out on it. But yeah, we should expect an overhaul to the forums, and as far as its appearance and organization goes. Another thing that we're working on that we're getting up and running is we're going to be having a newsletter that we're putting together. So look forward to that coming out soon. We're going to start putting together pieces to try and get a monthly newsletter about the guild and things that'll be happening in the guild, events, guild team that are looking for players, progression-based stuff, that sort of stuff in there. Just a whole informational packet. So that's another thing we're working on. And then the videos are the other big thing. Is just making our YouTube a little bit easier. And something I want to bring into YouTube is playlists of our raid team. So if you're a raid team that streams and records your fights regularly,
Oh, wow.
Let me know. I would love to put together playlists on the CTR thing, so people who go to our CTR YouTube can find your raid team and watch videos of your raid team doing the bosses and doing the fights. I try and promote the streams as much as I can, but we're also there's been talk, and this is a total spitball idea, but of trying to figure out a way to put up a page that just has a lot of streams on it. So when someone wants to try and see if a raid team is streaming, they don't necessarily have to be following them on Twitch or whatever. They can go to one page and see what streams are up.
That's pretty. That'd be pretty sweet.
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're working on a lot of neat things for communications.
That's actually really cool, and like it's something Sal and I and Nav have talked about too in the future. You know, having an episode where there's so many people that are streaming in our guild. You know what I mean? And having an episode where we just had streamers come on, you know, and talk about their pages and what they're streaming, and kind of just get the community to kind of talk about what they're doing in the game and how they're streaming and where their channels are, and let people just kind of pimp their stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to try and grow and nurture the community as much as we can, especially from a communications point of view. And it's one of the reasons why I brought Navix on. It's one of the reasons why I'm looking for a couple other people to do some communication projects as well. Is we really, it's such a large community, and it's growing so quickly that we really try and get as many things together as we can for that.
Awesome. We lost Sal for a second.
Yeah,
We're
we
trying to
lost
get her back
Sal.
in here real quick.
No worries.
Got the beauty of Skype.
Oh, it's totally fine.
But hey, man, you got anything you want to pimp out, man? Anything Spencer related or anything you want to pimp out or what, man?
I mean, I focus the majority of my time right now we just bought a new house, so I'm doing a lot of work in real life too, paying for that. But as far as pimping for me, I mean, I'm Spencer_Downey, DOWNEY, on Twitter. So if you're looking for me, that's where I am. You can, reach me through the CTR Guild thing. Follows me too if you look through the followers thing. But in game, Hudson is my main, HUDSON. Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing I pimp. As far as anything other than that, it's just the guild, and I don't need to pimp that on this show. That's what the show's all about.
That's right, man. Hey, one of the things I noticed, man, you had posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago the transformation that you and your wife have gone through over the last, I don't know how long it's been, I don't remember, but you guys look great. I mean, you want to talk about that at all? Like what you guys have done over the last, how long was it? A year or 2 years?
A year.
Okay, want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, sure. No, when Rob and I got together, I sort of drifted into a health place that I wasn't I already wasn't in a very healthy health place, but we sort of had that nice casual time together where I was still working a lot, which was my work that I do is sort of roadie type stuff. So I do a lot of non-cardio but heavy lifting stuff. So I get bulky really easily through my work. So for me, I was just getting way too big from what I wanted. So I wanted to find a way to tone back. And it actually was my parents who suggested seeing a dietitian. And that's what made the big difference for me. Because I work out regularly. I'm a very physical guy. My work is very physical. And we were tearing down my parents' garage because we're going to build them a new garage. And my parents were watching me do it. And they couldn't understand how I could be so strong and fit, but so overweight at the same time. I'm 6'3". I'm a big guy. But I was 318 pounds, 320 pounds. And I wanted to drop that number down way 230 was like my goal weight, but I wanted to get even lower than that if I could. They were saying it's not really fair that you work your body so much, but you don't see any results. You don't really lose weight. And it's been a problem for me for a long time. And so I saw this dietitian, and she sort of put me on an eating plan that isn't really a diet, but just sort of changed the way I eat. That really just involves eating proteins and then eating fruit and veg, and sort of cutting out anything that could potentially be an allergen to my system. So dairy, wheat, grains, whites, essentially.
Was it like a carb cut though? Like was it just like a carb, pretty much all carb? It was just
a little bit, yeah. I mean, it's the closest thing to it is there's something called the caveman diet that's out there. And it's similar to that, but it's a little bit, I mean, you take that with a grain of salt. It's a little bit similar to that. And so I'm the one who does all the cooking in the house. So when I decided to switch to this, I sort of went to Robin and was like, is this something you're willing to do with me? Is this something you want to support it? And she was really supportive and really wanted to do it with me. So we went back and met the dietitian together, and she has different gut problems than I do. So we sort of designed something more particular to her, and then just went at it. And so we started December 17th, and over a year, I lost over 80 pounds. She lost over 65 pounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was not changing anything physical. Like, I didn't work out more. I just kept doing what I was doing.
That was just diet,
just
like a diet modification.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just changing.
That's awesome.
And I'm a healthy guy as far as eating habits go to begin with. I don't drink. I don't do anything extracurricular. I don't, I never have. I'm also someone who, I cut out sweets when I was like 15 or 16. So I don't do any candy or chocolate, or I haven't done a birthday cake since I was 15. Yeah, no processed foods, Robin says in the chat room. So one of my big things was, why was I not losing weight? Like the amount that I was working out and as healthy as I was being, why was I not? So I don't know if it was the weed or the dairy or whatever it was in combination, but getting rid of those things, like the weight just came off on it. Like there were months where I'd lose 12 pounds in a month. Like it was crazy.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, man.
My wife beat me, though, if you're going by like biggest loser percentage. She lost over a third of her body weight.
Wow. Yeah, I was noticing too, like, because you had like the side-by-side comparisons there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like crazy. Yeah, no, that photo was great. It's on my Twitter. If anyone goes to the Spencer_Downey Twitter, if you click on my photos, it's there, our comparison photos. It's crazy. The problems it solved, and the year of our life that we committed to doing that healthy thing versus the years of our life that we've extended our life by losing the weight is crazy. Yeah.
So just summary, you cut out dairy, all dairy?
Yeah, entirely.
Wow. So it's almost like a vegan. Is it kind of vegan-ish? Kind of?
Well, I mean, basically, if you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, you're going to have like chicken breast and like a pile of steamed veg. Okay. And maybe a salad. And your salad would be like mixed greens with, nuts.
Okay, yeah, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so it's no, I mean, my wife is a little bit more onto she does a few more starches. She does some potatoes every now and then. She does some rice every now and then for her, but I just don't at all. I've just stayed off it. I'm essentially detoxing all the time just because of the diet that I'm on, because it's literally just, I'll have like a steak every now and then, like a 6 or an 8 ounce steak, and then just a pile of steamed veg and a salad or something. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow.
And then just water to drink. I mean, I, don't really indulge in a lot of other things. It's just water. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, man. I mean, that's awesome. It's, making that kind of a lifestyle change is huge, and when it pays dividends like that, it's a beautiful thing to see, man. So that's really cool.
Yeah, no, I encourage and want to support as many other people who want to, do the weight loss thing as possible. And on our forums, we have a thread that's for the CTR weight loss, and you should check it out in the general forums. It's sticky. Cool. There's a whole bunch of people who've posted all their stories in there, and anyone looking to make the change, there's tons of stories there. If you need some sort of inspiration or some sort of ideas, there's tons of stuff flowing in that thread. Go and check it out.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, man. We've been wanting to have you on here for a while. I'm glad it finally happened. Again, you were so instrumental for us, and we appreciate everything you're doing for the guild, and we look forward to hooking up in the future, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, anytime. I'm happy to.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks so much, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
You're amazing.
All right, man. Take care, man. Good luck, and we'll talk to you in game.
Cheers.
All right, see you, man.
See ya.
That was fun.
Oh, it's great to have Spencer on.
Yeah. All right, guys. We go ahead, Sally. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just gonna say, you're talking about like the behind the scenes people that do so much. Like, you might not know that someone does the Facebook. You might not know that someone is tweeting. You might not know that someone's going through photos or making videos or trying to get things together. It just kind of happens. So, like, that's a big service job without a lot of pats in the back. You know what I mean? Because it's not like in your face. Like, here's this guy that does all this stuff. Here's this committee that does all this stuff. This is definitely behind the scenes. And guys, there's a lot of people doing a lot of behind the scenes work. And it all helps to make CTR the community that it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really nice. Thanks, Spencer, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Big time.
Yeah.
We got a quick video from Tour Arts. Again, she's delivering the video, so we're going to put that on, and we'll see you guys on the other side, okay? Here it is.
Hi guys, this is Tour Arts, the head event planner for the CTR Guild. I just have a few things to talk to you about today. The first thing is we're continuing our Monday Night Flex and LFR runs and our Weekend World Boss runs. Best way to find out about these is to head to the CTR LFG channel. Solar's going to be hosting another Hearthstone tournament on the 23rd of this month. If you would like to participate in this one, please sign up immediately so he can get the brackets set. Check out the forum post under Guild Events for all the expectations, how long it's going to be, that kind of thing. We would love to have our March to Roundtables be a huge success. In order for this to happen, we need you guys to sign up to help host them. We'll be doing one for tanks, one for healing, one for melee, and one for ranged DPS. We have all the class and spec combos listed out. If you're interested in one, please sign up. These are geared toward fresh 90, so not end raid content. So even if you don't feel like you have the best knowledge when it comes to raiding, but you know your class inside and out, this will be perfect for you. If you have any questions or would like more information, check out the forum post and then get a hold of me, Tour Arts, either in-game or on the forums. We're also looking into doing a Brawlers Guild extravaganza. This will be in the beginning of March, although we don't have a date or time set yet. The idea is just to gather as many guildies as we can at the Brawlers Guild and cheer each other on while we fight the bosses and work our way up the ranks. Now, if you have an extra Brawlers Pass and would be willing to donate it to those who don't have one yet, please let me know. You can send it to Matraid, that's MATRAID. She's our event planner bank tune. This way we can get a pass to the guildies who don't have one yet so they can participate in all the fun. We're hoping to be able to stream this and do some fun announcing things. There's no need to sign up. You can come for a little bit or stay for the whole thing, and anyone is invited. Also on March 8 at 7 server, we're going to be having another meet and greet. The last one was a huge success and a lot of fun. Big thanks to the Converted cast for hosting that for me. More information should be posted on the forum soon about that. Finally, I am looking for more event planners. There's a list of expectations in an app on the forums. If you already submitted an application last time I was looking to be an event planner, just let me know that you would like your application to still be considered. It's a lot of fun, a great way to help out the guild and get more involved, and to get to know more guildies. There is some time that you'll have to dedicate to this, and there's a little bit more responsibility. So please just read through all the expectations. If you have any questions, let me know. We would love to have you on board and to expand our event planner staff. As always, you can get a hold of me on the forums or in games. I'm usually on Tour Arts, that's TURARTS, and my forum name is Tour Arts Onwell, or follow me on Twitter at Tour Arts, again TURARTS, or email the ctrguildevents@gmail.com. That's all I have for you guys today. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, that was awesome, man. Big thanks to Tour Arts for keeping the video in and just keeping us informed. That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, that's really great. Getting the events on there. So, did you notice the little hearts she had?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're getting better and better every week, man. That looks nice. That looks good, man. She put some time into that.
Oh, that was really cool. Okay, a few announcements. Do you know that patch 5.4.7 goes live this week? Like, tomorrow. Goes live tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. So, this actually isn't a huge content patch, but it does have a few things.
It's the end of Season 14.
Well, okay.
PvP.
Or the beginning of Season 15. Or is it end?
Okay.
Or beginning?
It's the end of Season 14, and
well, the end, it's been ended.
not that any of it's PvP.
Yeah. Okay, but it's the start of Season 15. But do you know what? They're going to have the PvP gear is going to be the same, except the factions are going to change colors. So they're not even like, they didn't even invest any time like making gear for this season. That's kind of weird. But the big thing that this patch can bring is the new pet and the new mount for the next expansion's collector's edition, and the boost to level 90. Now we don't know. That's not coming tomorrow.
I don't think that's coming live.
I'd be surprised if that came.
They're just putting the background in place for that.
Yeah, so like it's the game. It has the ability to do it, right? Mm-hmm. But they haven't announced the pre-order, and the pet, the mount, and the boost to 90 has to do with the pre-order. So once that happens, it's going to be really big news for CTR. It's going to be nuts.
Creators are going to be busy.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to get it tuned to level 60 and then boost it to 90, because then you get professions with that.
That'll
like,
help out a lot.
max
Oh,
level
really?
professions.
You don't get max level professions from the start?
No, but you do
What?
get gear. No. If you have it at like level 1 or level 10 or level 20 and you boost it to 90, you don't get any professions. But if you have a level 60 tune and you boost it to 90, you get maxed out professions. The two
No
that you
way.
like train for. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That is pretty
Yeah.
So I need to go level a
And-
shaman then. Okay.
You get like 483 gear as well. Like it's like tile
Okay.
missile gear except greens, so not quite as good, but like
Okay.
you get a little bit of gold, you get is it ember silk bags? You get bags even. But you know what
I
I
need to
don't
read up
think
on this because I didn't know this.
I don't think you get glyphs. So
That's
we might looking at a new glyphmas for glyphy scribe people.
Glyphness. I like that. We're making up words today.
Glyphmas. No, that's not. I didn't make up the word. No, that's definitely like people who are gonna like making gold and stuff. You know,
Okay.
have to do with glyphs. So yeah, so new patch, and it's
Okay.
cool. Oh yeah, the other thing is that 10-man heroic garrosh will be slightly nerfed, but nerf isn't the right word. Retuned. It'll be retuned. So it's like still like a.
I think they're adjusting it
Like-
because the
like
25-man
super-
experience and the 10-man experience were vastly different. And I think they're just, like you said, they're just tuning it so that it's
Yeah.
kind of even between
balanced.
the
So
two.
it's still like anyone who's Sushi's mad at me for mentioning the glyphmas stuff because you know he's making glyphs right now.
Blowing up his stuff.
Yeah. Well, I forgot what I was gonna say, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there are people complaining about the nerf of heroic 10-man. That it isn't. It's not really a nerf. They're saying that they tuned it too hard, or they didn't tune it correctly, and they're going back and fixing that. So there, it's still like hella hard, and good luck
Yeah.
with heroic garage. It's,
I want to have that
gonna be
problem for a long
insane.
time.
Still insane.
Yeah, me either.
Still insane. Already.
All right, one of the things that we want to talk about tonight, we're trying to see if we can touch on a different topic every week, every 2 weeks when we do the show. And one of the things that struck me, and I talked to Sal and Nav a little bit about it earlier, was when I was watching the town hall meeting and Zug was talking about, guild discipline and really what the CTR community is like. And we've all heard, what the goals are for the guild and how we want the guild to be portrayed. But what I didn't know is how many people actually, because of their actions or whatever, had to be removed from the guild. And there was no specific number, but we know that that's something that does happen. And one of the things that struck me is how I was thinking, like, what are some things we can do as a community to address that stuff, even at a smaller level, without it having to escalate, all the way to the Iron Council level. And what I was thinking is, when you talk to somebody and when you deal with somebody, just in real life, and if you want to get something done, if you want to affect change in somebody, how you address that person has a lot to do with the kind of response you're going to get. I believe everybody that's come to this guild, is coming for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come here because they want a home, they want a different environment. They left something to come here. Whether or not they get here and they conform to the policies of the guild, but I believe everybody who's here is here for a very similar reason. So you guys have probably been in guild chat when stuff's gone down. I haven't actually seen it myself, but is there anything that we can be doing as a community to address people in a certain way where we're not actually losing people, where we're actually able to kind of affect some change and just kind of remind people in a more constructive versus like maybe like everybody got a pitchfork, this guy's trolling in guild chat or something like that. Like, I don't know what's happening, but do you guys have any ideas of things we could do as a guild and as a community to affect change and try to see if we can keep people in the guild, but also, make the guild the place people want to come to, which is already the case, but also, like, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to say it, but what do you guys think of that?
Okay. Thing is, whenever there's an influx of new people, and we're about to see a huge influx of new people, not everyone completely and totally understands the values of CTR. The whole community, teamwork, respect, and so you get people in, and maybe they make a slight mistake in guild chat or trade chat or whatever, and yeah, like you see someone use some colorful language, like, you know, I don't know. I saw the other day like someone dropped an F-bomb in guild chat. Not supposed to do that. For sure, not supposed to do that. But
now,
then,
how was that handled at that time?
If
like,
everyone's like,
Okay.
Go ahead, Nav.
well, I just see there's different ways. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you talking like this in guild chat? Don't you know? You know, and like getting like really mad. And but like if you just send him a whisper and be like, hey man, you know, it's family friendly. It'd be cool if you would just, you know, keep it family friendly. But if you start attacking somebody, they're gonna, you know, retaliate, and
It's
there's
the
a big
mob
fight.
mentality. You don't want to create that mob in guild chat. You don't want to be the person to start that, hey, blah, 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 blah. Why did you say that? Because then you'll get 10 or 12 other people that agree with you that'll jump on board. And then that person automatically feels like crap. They're just feeling, oh man, I really messed up.
Attacked.
And and attacked, exactly. And you don't want to do that. Whispers generally are the best way to handle that.
Friendly like whispers.
Friendly whispers. Keep everything friendly. Treat other people's way you want to be treated. Honestly, that's the best way to do it. And guys, you know, there's that delay. You want to say something in guild chat, you want to fire back. There is a delay before you get to the keyboard. You just, like I said before, you want to think, you want to filter, and then speak. Don't like think about it before you actually say it, because once it's fired out there, you can't take it back.
And like Chernowski said in the chat for the show here, he said, "Let the officers do the policing. I've been here a short time, but I've seen many instances of normal members trying to be the chat police and fights break out." And what I'm not trying to say that we need to be the police of the guild, but what I'm trying to say or convey is that there's not always officers around, and when you're a community, you know, we're like a family, right? So like if you see something that you know is not maybe in line with what we should be doing, instead of making a big deal and saying, hey, let's go out there and like you need to be out of this guild and kind of arguing with them in chat, send them a little whisper, or even say, hey, listen, you know, I mean, maybe you're new to the guild. This is not how we do things. Is that, you know, there's a way to address people, and that's how it is in everyday life. Anybody who does anything socially, you know, when you talk to people, you know, you can get the kind of response you want based on how you present yourself to that person. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's a way to handle it in a way that's not aggressive, and it's not going to start something. You know what I mean? And some people, I mean, you treat people the right way. Kindness goes a long way, and I think that there's a way to make sure we as a community can kind of, I'm not saying police each other, but present things in a way where it's more positive. You know, if we can keep more people. You know, and this is nobody, especially the officers. The officers don't like being the chat police. They don't like doing that. So I mean, right. It's the worst part of the job. I mean, we're all here to have fun. We're raiding. Somebody goes off on a tangent in guild chat, and all of a sudden, honest to God, I hate to say it, I can't concentrate on what's going on in the raid anymore once I see some sort of commotion happening in guild chat. And it's like, oh, great. So, you know, everybody gets involved at that point. And I don't know if this is happening all the time. Like I said, I haven't been on when I've seen. I haven't seen. I've just heard about it. You know what I mean?
I'm only on in the prime. Like I'm only on East Coast time, prime time. I don't see what goes on during the daytime. But you know, again, the other thing that you can do is you can take screenshots, and you can send those screenshots to ctrofficers@gmail.com, and we can look at it and we can address it later on. I mean, people have been, you know, spoken to after the events happen. We've gone and talked to them. But the other thing people need to remember is it's not only guild chat, and it's not only the CTR LFG channel, which, guys, it's not going away. I keep saying it. We're keeping that channel, CTR LFG. But if you're in trade chat, if you're in general chat, it's very easy to fall into the whole it's fun to troll mentality type thing. And you really, I try to ask people to steer clear of that. If it's constructive, you know, chat, that's great. But if, you know, the policies don't only fall within guild chat, it transitions outside of that as well. You know, you don't want to get caught, you know, saying basically you've got the CTR, you know, flag above your head. Don't do anything to disgrace the guild, basically, you know.
Well, and the whole like crux of what I was saying was more just be aware of treating people the way you'd want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see something going down, you know, if that was you on the other end, how would you want to be responded to? You know what I'm saying? And just think about it, you know. And sometimes you'd be surprised. There's some things that could be handled at a level where it never has to even escalate. You know what I'm saying? It never has to get to that point where people are getting removed from the guild and stuff like that. That was just the main thing. Just trying to be considerate and be proactive at the same time. You know what I mean? So, Sal, what's up, man? You're kind of quiet over there.
Oh, I was just thinking that, yeah, for that kind of stuff, I would leave it to officers. And if you're ever looking for an officers, there are officers around, just almost all the time. You can pop into this CTR LFO channel and you can like look and see who's in that channel and be like, hey, are you an officer? You know, there's this thing going down, and they'll help. Or if there's not, take a screenshot of it and send it. And it's probably best left to the officers because they're the ones that, you know, talk it out or whatever. But just don't attack people and be nice. And remember that community teamwork and respect goes both ways.
Definitely.
Yep.
So, and you know what? You ever go to an LFR or like a dungeon or something, and you've got convert to raid above your head, and someone goes, "Oh, hey, are you in that guild? Is that for real?
Oh, yeah.
Is that for real? Your guild?"
Oh yes.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time.
And I've never run into anybody that's like, oh, you guys are in that convert to raid guild, and with a negative, you know, with a negative connotation. It's always been like, oh, wow, that's cool. I listen to that podcast or whatever. You know what I mean? It's always in a positive light, and it's working. What they're doing is working, and that's good. It's good to be a part of. You know.
Yeah, and we're gonna get some new guildies in, and it's gonna be great. And we're gonna have to show some people the ropes and be like, hey, here's what we do here. You know, it's family friendly.
But don't you think, how many people come into this guild and not having any idea of what the guild's all about? Like, most people that come into the guild, they're probably listeners of Convert to Raid, right?
Most of them, yeah.
Most of them. This past week, we've had a lot of people come in that are just brand new. We're not doing alt invites. We're doing brand new invites of people. And
Yeah.
it's very, very cool because they get here, right? Like they're and you can always tell the new person because they're always like, "Hey guys, is my green wall working?" And you're like, "Yep, there it is. That's a new person right there." You know. So.
Yeah, let's show them a good time and let's just be nice. And if someone, you know, says some off-color stuff, you know, let the officers kind of remind them of what's going on. But more so, you know, show how we behave, you know. And
except if the chat goes towards the 25 versus 10-man difficulty, send them to Sal.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. Wow, that definitely turned into a Twitter thing, hasn't it? But I can't wait to meet all our new guildies that are going to come, and we're going to be great. Okay, well, we could probably move on from that, I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, folks.
Absolutely. Well, now it's time for our chat room shout-outs. So, chat room,
Yay!
get your shout-outs in, and we will try to read them all on the show here.
Yeah, go ahead and send them through, and then we're going to go. I guess...
Yeah, we do our personal shout-outs, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
All right. I'm going to give a shout-out to the Watermelon Initiative raid team. We had Blazin on here a while back, and they had their 1-year anniversary a couple weeks ago. And that's Blazin and Spanks and crew and stuff. And they had a great time. They had like a party amongst themselves. And I heard it was a blast. So I talked to Blazin earlier this week. He was excited. And I was like, dude, let's get you a shout out on the show. For one of the original raid teams, man. Watermelon Initiative has been here since the beginning. So yeah. Big ups for them, man. 1 year raiding. That's awesome. They got a nice little family thing going on there. It's nice. So big ups to you guys.
And I love Blazin.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. I can't talk enough about Blazin. Like I could have a whole episode talking about Blazin. That guy's awesome.
Let's tell a story about Blazin. At BlizzCon, me and you, Belschnickel, were at table at like 4 o'clock in the morning, like
it was late.
eating at Denny's or IHOP. It was IHOP.
It was IHOP, yeah.
And it was with Two Root.
Yeah, it was IHOP, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 4 of us. And Blazin comes in, and he's just full of love for everybody, right? Like hugging and like, what's up? You're at IHOP? I'm at IHOP too. Whatever. He orders like some fries, eats 2 fries, and then leaves. And then we leave, and then he had paid for our tab.
Well, no, and the way it went, though, Sal, is we're sitting there, right? It's you, me, Dev, and Tootroot. Okay, we're sitting there eating our food, and he comes in, and he's like, hey, whatever. And then he's like, all right, guys, you guys are all set. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And now when he said you guys are all set, I was like, what do you mean we're all set? You know what I'm saying? I had my hot chocolate. You know, I'm doing my thing, drinking my hot chocolate. I'm feeling good.
You had hot chocolate.
So then all of a sudden, I think I asked like you or Dev or something. I was like, hey, he said we're all set. Does it mean he paid? And right at that moment, the waiter comes by, and I was like, dude, did he pay our bill? And he's like, yeah, dude, he's like, that's a pretty good friend. And he's like, yeah, it's all set. It's been taken care of. Everything, tip everything. Like I was like, you know, who does that? You know what I'm saying? Like blazing. You just rolled up in there, grabbed some fries or whatever, and paid for our food, man, at the IHOP. It was awesome. Like the guy, I mean, he's. You know, even the first night, I don't think I've ever told this story. Now, like, I'm a horrible packer, apparently. I'm in my hotel room. I'm about to go meet Sal and everybody for the first time, right? So I take a shower, you know, whatever. I'm going through my little bag, and I can't find my deodorant. You know, now I don't have a car, right? I'm over there on foot. So I had been texting with Blazin', and he was like, dude, you coming? Like, you're going to come over to go to the Hilton bar. And I was like, dude, I was like, I don't have any deodorant, bro. I can't roll like this. I can't be going out without deodorant. He's like, I'm like, can you come by and pick me up? Because he had a car. I was like, can you grab me and we'll go to a convenience store real fast and then we'll go over to the Hilton. And he's like, yeah. All of a sudden, my man shows up like 20 minutes later with deodorant. Like he went out and bought the deodorant and brought. I mean, the guy he wouldn't let me do anything. You know, he's an awesome guy, man. Blazing is awesome. He's that kind of guy, man. You get to meet him at BlizzCon or whatever. He's just one of those guys, man. He's just a really nice guy, you know, top to bottom. So it's awesome. Anyway, went off on a tangent there. Sal, what's your shout out?
I have a big one, a really, really big one today. Hillbilly Zombie from the Salad Senate. His wife had a baby today.
That's awesome.
Wow, congratulations.
I was looking at the chat room today, in the Salad Senate chat room. He's like, hey guys, nothing will wake you up faster than hearing my water just broke.
Ooh.
And then we're like, ah!
Wow.
You know, and then you know, like hours and hours and hours later, you know, he's like, okay, here we go, it's a picture. So that was really cool. So and actually, Hannibal, his wife, also had a baby. A week ago, 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, Salad Senate is just multiplying. It's crazy.
It's in the water.
So shout out, brand new family members. It's really awesome. All right, how about you, Nav?
I want to just give a shout out to the boys over at Boats and Hosen, where we downed, like I said earlier, Heroic Iron Jugs and Heroic Nazgrim. And again, we're looking for a tank or a healer, so help us out.
Okay, so we did ask people to put some shout outs on the forum page. We have a shout out page from the Signals Media forums under the Converted. Okay. I've got one. Oh gosh, names. Veladina says, I want to shout out to my raid team, Marginally Competent.
That's an awesome name.
That is. Good job on progression this week. 7 out of 14. Awesome.
A big shout out. One came in from Iliai, who said a big shout out to Spencer HD, who saved me in the middle of an invite on Saturday. Thanks, Spence. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, got someone's. I don't know what that means. Okay, shout out to the iTunes group for being so welcoming of new players and for providing weekly content outside of my daily grind. And that was from Grumpy House.
I got another shout out here from Shively. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the Convert to Raid Guild. They've been so awesome. It's been nice to be able to play and have an active and fun group of people to play with. It is so great, in fact, that I transferred 2 tunes, not only to Aerie Peak, but also Alliance from Horde. So worth it. Such a great guild. Welcome, Shively. That's great.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you're having a great experience here, guy.
I've got one that I wish I had read before, and I would have changed my Blaze actually put in a shout out to Hannibal for a new baby and for Hillbilly Zombie for little zombie baby. Maybe newly out in the world by podcasting time. Oh, maybe. Okay, she had written this before we knew that the little baby came, little baby zombie. All right. Also, shout out to her, whoever has the Love Rocket mount in the guild. I know someone must have had it drop by now. Show it off at the shrine or else. I'm
gonna kill your name, Rulu, but Rulu Ash said a big shout out to the birthday boy, Zug.
Yay, Zug's birthday.
We got to get her on sometime to find out how to pronounce her name. Like every time I read it, I just go Rulu. You know what I mean? I can't
It's
pronounce
just
that.
gonna be Rulu. That's it.
Yeah. Rulu,
man. Okay. Let's see, Doom Marrow says, shout out to Fight Club 25 man. They killed Garrosh. First week and we cleared normal. Great group and could not be happier. On to heroics next week.
Nice.
And now to the.
I still have more.
Oh, you have more.
Okay.
I went backwards from that list.
Oh no, Rulu said that. Okay. We've got shout out to Orchid and Dionette. Okay. Heels and Tank, who can't join me in the Storm Stout Brewery so I could complete my noodle cart. Thanks again from a group phobic feral. Aw. Okay, and that was from Solera. Feral Druid, obviously, and then CTR Cossack. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Bryce Larkin wanted to give a shout out to Classy. Classy's a level 90 Death Knight in CTR Nalek. Bryce was looking for a sealed tome for the Green Fire quest. Classy went out of their way and bought one from the auction house and brought it over and delivered it to Bryce. When Bryce asked him how much, Classy said, "Don't worry about it." And Bryce said it was awesome and unexpected for someone to go out of their way for another guild member.
That's awesome.
Classy, stay classy.
Yes.
I got one that says, thanks for Navox for taking my Jubithos-based hunter to Flex a couple weeks ago.
Stuff. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that was awesome. Thanks to Boomy for giving me an art project to work on. I'd like to know about that. You got any more Navox?
Just from the chat room.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read the one from iRobin. Shout out to Spencer. I love you from iRobin. Aw.
Robin's his wife, guys.
I know.
Okay. Okay, I guess Lori CTR. So let's give a shout out to Navox. He remembered something I'd mentioned in chat about my headset issues and made an effort to help me out. Aw. I was surprised that he remembered, as active as the chat room is. Oh, he is good at that kind of stuff, guys. There were more chat room shout outs, right?
There was a shout out for Sal for having a sense of humor from Berserker.
Cage gave a shout out to himself, I saw.
I wouldn't have him any other way. Any other way. I thought there were more. Okay.
That might be it.
That was it.
What was this? No. Shout out to Tubby's mom for being the blunt of all jokes.
Who said that?
Riz did. You weren't going to read that one on purpose.
Okay, it's funny. Like,
so
like our raid
shows you that Sal will read anything that's in the chat room, so be careful what's there.
Our raid team, okay, it's for the win. I got two guys in there that I went to college with, Hot Tub and Tinkerbell, and those guys, ever since college, they're going after each other's moms all the time. Like the mom jokes were flowing in college. We've been out of college now for like 12 years, and they're still flowing. And now they've managed to get the rest of the raid team to dog their moms. So we got people like Wrist who's never met their moms dogging their moms. Like half of our raid is like mom jokes. So you'd swear we're like 15, but it's funny, man. Like those guys, that was Wrist, man. He was just taking a shot at Tubby's mom on the converted. Who would have thought? She's a nice lady.
Okay, guys. Alrighty, I guess are we done? Do we have all the shout outs?
I think that's it.
Yeah, there were so many, and thanks for participating, guys. Like, and I don't mean it in the sarcastic Zug kind of way. I mean, like, really, thanks. Thanks for posting all that stuff for us. And be sure to join us next week when we interview Rex from the Rex Flags. And he's a friend of the show. I'm really happy to have him on, too.
Rex is awesome. I'm
nice
looking forward
guy.
to that. Definitely.
Alrighty, so that wraps us up for tonight. So, chat room, thanks for coming. Everyone on YouTube, thanks for watching. Stitcher, iTunes, you're awesome. Hit us up on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Good night.
All right, guys. See you in 2 weeks.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
You can follow us on Twitter at converted_CTR.
And be sure to follow us on our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast.
Also, follow us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast, and join us live every other Monday at 7 p.m. server.
You can follow me at summer_sal, Navux at NavuxCTR, and Belschnickel at BelschnickelCTR.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really.